A routine mission, a vital aircraft, and 6 American families who will never be the same. We are learning about a devastating incident in western Iraq. A U.S. Air Force KC-135 Stratotanker, the backbone of the American air campaign against Iran, has crashed. All 6 airmen aboard are confirmed dead. The crash brings the total number of American service members killed in Operation Epic Fury to 13. But it's not just the loss of life that has intelligence agencies on edge this morning. It's what the Pentagon didn't say. In their official statement, alongside the confirmation of the crash, they used 4 specific words. Circumstances are under investigation. In military speak, that phrase is a loaded gun. It's what you say when the answer isn't simple. It's what you say when the cause might be something you aren't ready to admit yet. Today, we are connecting the dots between this tragedy and a shadow war within the war, a conflict where American lives are being caught between 2 fronts, one they can see and one they cannot. Let's break down what we know, what the intelligence suggests, and the explosive political contradiction unfolding in real time. First, the facts on the ground. On Thursday, March 12, 2026, a KC-135 Stratotanker went down in a remote area of western Iraq. This aircraft wasn't on the front lines. It wasn't dropping bombs. It was conducting a refueling mission in support of Operation Epic Fury, the ongoing American and Israeli campaign against Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure. The KC-135 is the unsung hero of modern air power. Without it, F-15s can't reach deep targets, B-52s can't loiter. The entire air campaign against Iran would grind to a halt because it operates in what is supposed to be safe airspace behind the front lines. A KC-135 is also a massive, slow-moving, and predictable asset, and in modern warfare, predictability is a death sentence. This is where the story turns from a tragic accident into a potential international crisis. To understand why the Pentagon is being so cautious with its words, you have to look at what happened in the week leading up to this crash. Let's walk through the timeline. March 6th, the Washington Post and the New York Times simultaneously published blockbuster reports. Citing multiple U.S. officials, they confirm that Russia is providing Iran with targeting intelligence. This isn't just gossip. It's specific satellite imagery showing the locations of U.S. warships and aircraft in the Middle East. March 11th, CNN adds a critical third layer. A Western intelligence source tells them that Russia isn't just giving away locations. They are sharing advanced drone tactics developed on the battlefields of Ukraine. They are literally teaching Iran how to overwhelm American defenses. March 12th, a U.S. refueling aircraft, one of the very assets Russia was reportedly tracking, goes down in western Iraq. Put those puzzle pieces together. Russia provided the locations of U.S. aircraft. Russia provided the tactics to hit difficult targets. 2 days later, a U.S. aircraft is down. Now, let's be precise about what CENTCOM has said. They have stated that the loss was not due to hostile fire or friendly fire. That rules out a direct missile strike or an accidental shoot down by our own forces. But it does not rule out the crash being an indirect result of that intelligence. It does not rule out electronic warfare that could cause a catastrophic equipment failure. It does not rule out navigational interference that could put a plane in the wrong place at the wrong time. The question every analyst is asking is not necessarily, did Russia pull the trigger? But rather, did Russia create the environment that made this crash inevitable? And this is where the story takes its most disturbing turn, because on the very same day that 6 American airmen were declared dead, March 12, 2026, the Trump administration announced it was temporarily lifting sanctions on Russian oil. Let that sink in. We have multiple on-the-record intelligence reports stating Russia is actively helping Iran target American assets, and the official response on the day 6 more Americans die in that same theater of war is to give Russia a financial reward. The Hill and NBC News confirmed the 300-day waiver on sanctions targeting Russian oil companies. The administration framed it as a move to stabilize global energy prices after the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. But when asked directly about the cognitive dissonance of this policy, here is how the president responded in a Fox News radio interview on March 13th. This is a direct quote regarding Putin helping Iran. "I think he might be helping them a little bit. Yeah, I guess. And he probably thinks we're helping Ukraine, right? A little bit." Russia is providing satellite imagery of U.S. aircraft locations. They are sharing drone tactics designed to kill Americans. A U.S. plane goes down, and the official characterization from the commander-in-chief is a little bit, followed by a sanctions waiver worth billions. This isn't a policy, it's a contradiction with a body count. Now, to be fair, we have to present the administration's defense. No hostile fire. CENTCOM explicitly stated the crash wasn't caused by enemy fire. Drawing a direct line from Russian intel to this specific crash is speculation until the investigation concludes. It could still be mechanical failure or pilot error. Narrow waiver. Officials argue the sanctions relief is a narrow 30-day measure. For oil already at sea, a practical energy management tool, not a geopolitical signal. Steve Witkoff, a senior diplomat, stated that Russian officials personally denied sharing intel. Diplomatic language. The president's little bit comment could be seen as deliberate understatement to avoid a public rupture that would require a formal military response. These are the arguments, but here is the reality that undercuts them. After classified briefings on the Iran war, Senator Chris Murphy stated, "The administration has no coherent strategy. We were given no answers on the Russia intelligence question." Senator Richard Blumenthal said after the same briefing, "I am extremely worried and fearful. The path this administration is on leads somewhere very dangerous." These aren't political operatives. These are members of the Senate Intelligence Committee. They have seen the raw data, and their reaction wasn't skepticism. It was fear. When the people who know the most are the most afraid, that is the signal that matters. This isn't just foreign policy jargon. This has real-world consequences. For every American. Your money. Brent crude is spiking. Gas prices are going up. Russia is the world's second-largest oil exporter. They profit billions from every day this war continues. By giving them sanctions relief, we are funding both sides of this conflict. Your safety. There are 40,000 U.S. military personnel stationed across the Gulf region. They are operating in an environment that Russia is actively shaping. Russia has given Iran the locations of their bases and the tactics to hit them. This is a direct threat to their lives. The precedent: if a hostile power can provide targeting intelligence to an enemy killing American soldiers, and the American response is to ease sanctions and call it a little bit of help, the message to every adversary is clear. The cost of spilling American blood is zero. That precedent will not stay in the Middle East. The story is moving fast. Here is what we are watching. The crash investigation. The Pentagon's report on the KC-135 is the single most important document we are waiting for. If the cause is linked to electronic warfare or systems failure induced by the threat environment, this story explodes. The sanctions waiver, it expires in 30 days. Will it be extended? That vote will be the clearest answer to whether the U.S. is willing to confront Russia or is choosing to appease them. The Senate briefings. Armed Services Committee members are demanding answers. Their public statements after those briefings will tell us if the administration has a plan or if they are hoping this blows over. 13 Americans are dead. 13 families are getting notifications. 6 of those names were added today. They deserve an answer. Their families deserve an answer, and so do you. The question is simple. Is Russia helping Iran kill Americans? The evidence suggests yes. The president says a little bit, and the policy right now seems to be rewarding the helper. We will stay on this story. The moment the investigation reports its findings, or the Senate briefing happens, or the sanctions question gets answered, we will break it down for you. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. The story is not over. It's barely beginning. I'll see you in the next video.